All right, let's talk about what's going on inside the walls of your home. We're diving into insulation. And you probably think, the thicker the better, right? Well, it turns out there's a hidden truth that might just completely flip how you think about keeping your home cozy and efficient.
So when you're out there looking at insulation, there's this one big number everyone talks about, R value. But is that really the whole story? I mean, is that the only thing that actually matters? Let's find out.
So first things first, let's tackle this R-value ruler. We're going to look at what it actually measures, and maybe more importantly, what it completely leaves out of the equation.
On the surface, R-value is super simple. It's just a number that tells you how good a material is at stopping heat from moving through it. So a higher R-value means better insulation. Seems pretty straightforward, right?
And if you just look at the three most popular types of insulation based on that R value alone, well, they look pretty darn similar. You've got fiberglass, cellulose, and spray foam all hanging out in the same ballpark. You'd probably think, they're all basically the same.
And yeah, you're right, they do look close. But, and this is a big but, that's because we're only looking at one tiny piece of the puzzle. It's kind of like judging a car by its shiny paint job without ever bothering to look under the hood. So, let's pop the hood.
Okay, it's time to introduce the real villain of our story, the unseen enemy of your home's comfort, air leakage. This is the one thing R value completely ignores. And believe me, it makes all the difference in the world. Just take a look at this number for a second. 40%. That is a huge number, and it represents a massive, invisible problem that's happening in millions and millions of homes as we speak.
So here's what that 40% actually means. In colder climates, almost half of your heating and cooling bill isn't because heat is slowly seeping through your walls. No. It's because air is literally just moving through all the little gaps and cracks, completely bypassing your insulation like it isn't even there.
So you can think of it like this. Your home is fighting a war on two different fronts. You've got conduction, that's the heat moving through stuff, and that's what R value is designed to fight. But then you've got air leakage, which needs a completely different defense. It needs an air seal. And here's the kicker. Most traditional insulations just don't provide one.
Okay, so this brings us to the real-world test. Let's see what happens when these different types of insulation have to face both of these enemies at the exact same time.
All right, remember that first chart we looked at? The one where all three insulation types were pretty much neck and neck? We're going to bring that back. But this time, we're going to factor in the reality of that 30 to 40% energy loss from air leakage. And let me tell you, this is where the entire story gets flipped on its head.
And wow, here it is. This is the whole picture. Just look at that column on the right. The performance of fiberglass absolutely plummets from 94% down to just 63%. Cellulose takes a nosedive from 95% to 67%. Why? Simple. They don't stop air leaks. But then look at closed-cell spray foam. It barely even flinches, holding strong at 88%. And that's because it's doing two jobs at once. It's an insulator and an air seal.
And this right here, this is the key. This is the hidden truth we've been talking about. In the real world where every house has some air leaks, the performance gap isn't 2 or 3%. It's a whopping 20 to 25%. That is an absolute game changer.
Okay, so a 25-point performance gap sounds impressive, but what does that actually mean for you, for your comfort, and maybe, most importantly, for your wallet? Let's connect the science to your bank account.
This chart translates that performance directly into cold, hard cash. In a typical home in a chilly climate like Michigan, closed-cell spray foam can save you over double what you might save with the other materials. We're talking up to $500, maybe even more, year after year after year.
And honestly, the benefits go way beyond just your energy bill. A home that's truly air-sealed means finally getting rid of those annoying cold spots and drafts. It means the temperature is just comfortable and even, no matter where you are. It can even help with moisture and might let you get away with a smaller, less expensive HVAC system. At the end of the day, it all adds up to a much more comfortable and a much more valuable home.
So the next time you think about insulation, don't just ask, what's the R value? Instead ask, how does it defend my home against both heat and air leaks? Because the absolute best insulation doesn't just act like a warm blanket, it creates a complete airtight shield for your entire home.